Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Daz.
I'm Gaynor.
Office Bloke Aidan.
There are three of us today. If Patreon's your thing, check out the link in the description below. Loads of stuff on there. Starts just $3 a month, helps support the channel. And we've got things like full watch-alongs, things like Modern Family, Seinfeld, Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Plus we've just started the second season of
Some good
Quarterback.
shows.
So
Some good shows.
Loads of stuff on there, so check it out if it's for
It's a
you.
bargain.
Inside the biggest nuclear submarine in the US Navy. I actually applied to be a submariner.
I know.
Really?
Yeah, when I was very young. And one of the guys who my parents knew very well was like an admiral in the Navy, or something along them lines anyway. And he said, "You get you straight in." And I was ready to go, and in the end I bottled it and went, "Nah, I don't think I want to live in a submarine."
No.
Yeah. So it was
Bit
like
claustrophobic.
change of plan sort of thing. And then he said, "Why don't you go?"
That is a commitment, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we
So
get
I'd like to
into
see. I'd like to see how this works. Go
How
for
big
it.
is it really?
Especially with his belly.
Imagine being locked in a floating steel tube for 3 months with no sunlight, no fresh air, and no escape. Now imagine that tube is carrying over 100 nuclear warheads, cruising silently beneath the ocean like a ghost with a grudge. What's it like to live in a giant underwater missile launcher? Is it cramped or surprisingly cozy? How do sailors survive months without sunlight or fresh air? Do they serve pizza? Welcome to life aboard the Ohio-class submarine,
I'd be all right with that.
The
Yeah, it
largest
seems alright.
and most powerful sub in the U.S. Navy. Imagine a city beneath the sea, hidden in the depths, invisible to satellites, yet capable of altering the fate of nations. That's not a sci-fi plot. USS Ohio, the lead boat of her class of nuclear-powered Fleet Ballistic Missile Submarines, SSBN, is the fourth vessel of the United States Navy to be named for the U.S. state of Ohio.
Yeah.
The Ohio class is massive. At 560 feet long and 42 feet
big.
wide, it's about as long as the Washington Monument is tall. Once
Wow.
submerged, it displaces over 18,750 tons. That's roughly the weight of 50 Boeing 747s.
Whoa.
What's even more impressive, it slips through the ocean almost silently, like a ghost. This stealth is thanks to its specially designed hull, coated with anechoic tiles, rubber-like material that absorbs sonar, and powered by a nuclear reactor that requires no refueling for over 30 years. Step inside, and you enter a world with no day or night, just red-lit corridors and soft mechanical hums. Crew members sleep in stacked bunks the size of a coffin, with curtains for privacy.
No.
There's no Wi-Fi, no windows, and barely any personal space. But there is a gym, a small chapel, and even a movie server with Hollywood classics to boost morale. The Ohio-class submarines were constructed between 1981 and 1997. Each of them is powered by a GES-8G pressure water reactor with 2 turbines that provide 45 megawatts, which drive a single shaft. The boats are capable of maintaining a top speed of 25 knots while submerged. Equipped with low-frequency active sonar arrays, the sub can detect ships and other subs from hundreds of miles away.
It's incredible.
When stealth
I
is
know.
critical, the sub enters ultra-quiet mode. No talking, no banging. Every movement is controlled to avoid detection by enemy sonar. But stealth isn't the only priority. Tucked inside this giant vessel is a fully equipped machine shop, complete with welding tools, lathes, and even 3D printers. If a pipe cracks or a valve fails, the crew doesn't just report it, they fix it on the spot, even thousands of feet underwater. Submarines like the Ohio class generate their own oxygen through electrolysis, splitting water molecules into hydrogen and breathable O2.
Engineering that goes into stuff like this is
I
just
know.
I
genius,
know, it's
isn't
pretty
it?
mental.
I mean, it's way above our pay station sort of thing,
Yeah.
the engineering designs and everything like that goes into it. But when you think, these have been going for years and years. You know what I mean? And they've got a 30-year span on the nuclear propulsion or nuclear power. So I think that makes it no refueling for 30 years. I wouldn't have a problem living under the water. That wasn't my issue. I think my issue was being away for lengths of time. like going to
3 months, whatever.
3-6 months, whatever it was at the time.
Well, that wouldn't bother me. I'd love it.
Yeah, that was the biggest issue I had. It was only 16 at the time, so it was kind of daunting at the time to sort of like go to something like that. That's why it was sort of like a thing was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. But yeah, you imagine being on that. That's just like a monster of a vessel under the water,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I think you
Huge.
would hate having to sleep like that.
It wouldn't bother me. If you're used to it, if you got that bit didn't bother me. The whole side of being on there didn't bother me. It was a case of just being away and knowing that I was so young. You know, it was the bit that got to me in the head and sort of like made me rethink what I was going to do.
Yeah.
Carbon dioxide is scrubbed from the air with chemical filters, and fresh water is created by distilling seawater. Let's not forget the real reason these giants exist. The
Get paid more as well.
Trident II D5 missile. One Ohio-class SSBN can carry up to 20 of these intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs, and each missile can deliver up to 8 nuclear warheads to different targets. In total, just one submarine can carry more than 100 nuclear warheads,
Wow.
each one many times more powerful than the bombs dropped in World War II. Originally built as SSBNs, ballistic missile submarines, 4 Ohio-class vessels were transformed into SSGNs, guided missile subs, in the early 2000s. These 4, USS Ohio, USS Michigan, USS Florida, and USS Georgia, now carry up to 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles. That's more than the entire air wing of some countries. They also carry
Whoa.
SEAL teams, mini-submarines, and special ops gear. The dry deck shelters mounted on top can launch divers and underwater drones, perfect for stealth missions near enemy shores. To sustain these demanding missions 24/7 means no long breaks. So the Navy runs 2 alternating crews per submarine, Blue Crew and Gold Crew. Each rotates every 70 to 90 days. This keeps the submarines at sea as much as possible, maximizing deterrence.
Why are some in white and some are in blue?
Home and away. If you're on US soil,
No,
wear
is it
white.
like different
But you wouldn't be on
ranks or-
soil. If you're in US waters, you'd be on white. And if you're blue, then you're overseas, you're away. Home and away.
You sure? Or you
No,
just-
I'm making it up.
No shit.
I might be right.
The
Imagine if
2
I'm
sets
right.
of crews each consist of 15 officers, including their own captain, and 144 enlisted sailors. During deployment, the submarines spend approximately 70 days at sea, followed by 25 days in the dock for maintenance. Each of the SSBNs spends at least 66% of the time at sea. These crews train intensively and undergo psychological screening. Living in a metal tube underwater for months requires more than technical skills. It demands mental toughness, discipline, and trust. Mistakes aren't just costly, they're catastrophic. So what does this extreme life look like from the inside? Let's head into the control room, the beating heart of the submarine. At the heart of the sub sits the control room, also known as the con. This is where the commanding officer and navigation crew monitor the ship's course, depth, sonar, and surroundings. It's full of glowing screens, levers, and joysticks. It's the nerve center for steering the hub, tracking potential threats, and initiating missile launches if ever ordered.
Fire! 2-4!
The Galley is tiny, but it works nonstop. It's about the size of a small food truck and is run
Wow.
by a team of cooks working around the clock.
Shit.
They prepare 4 meals a day in rotating shifts. Menus include everything from eggs and pancakes to tacos and spaghetti. There's even a Navy cookbook. One fan favorite, Navy Chili Mac. And yes, there's dessert. Cookies, cakes, and sometimes hand-churned ice cream. Fresh ingredients run out after a week or 2, so the rest is frozen, dried, or canned. Still, the culinary team pulls off small miracles daily. Just across from the galley is the mess deck, basically the dining area. Seating is limited, so sailors eat in shifts. This room doubles as a social space, a lecture room, and sometimes even a movie theater. Every submarine has a digital media server filled with thousands of songs, shows, and movies. Personal devices can be plugged in, but there's no internet while submerged, so it's all downloaded in advance. A crew favorite is Steel Beach, an unofficial tradition where, during long patrols, the mess is decorated like a beach, and everyone eats burgers and wears Hawaiian shirts for a day. Space is tight. Sailors sleep in triple-stacked bunks just barely long enough to stretch out. Each rack has a curtain for privacy, a reading light, and a small locker underneath. Junior sailors often hot rack, meaning they share a bunk with someone on the opposite shift. One sleeps while the other works. Officers and chiefs get slightly more privacy, but luxury is relative. Despite the conditions, many crew members say the submarine becomes a kind of second home. Even 500 feet below the ocean, you're not completely cut off from home. The Ohio-class submarine uses burst satellite communications to send and receive short text-only emails. Bathrooms are called heads in Navy lingo. There are just a few per submarine, 1 or 2 for officers, a couple more for enlisted crew. Each head includes toilets, tiny sinks, and showers. Showers are short, usually 2 minutes. Water is made on board by distilling seawater, but conserving it is still a top priority. There is a compact gym area tucked away, usually with a treadmill, a stationary bike, a rowing machine, and some free weights. It's small, but it keeps the crew fit and sane. Fitness is not just a hobby here, it's mandatory. Staying strong and alert is critical when you're operating complex systems in a stressful environment. There's no fire department at sea. Every crew member, from cook to commander, is trained in firefighting, damage control, and emergency medicine. When disaster strikes underwater, be it a fire, flood, or injury, there's no 911 to call. The crew must handle it themselves, fast and flawlessly. The submarine has a basic medical bay and a dentist's chair, but no permanent dentist on board. In case of emergencies, a Navy corpsman, trained in advanced field medicine, might perform procedures with remote guidance from experts on land. Imagine a toothache in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. Now imagine treating it yourself. Still, there are moments when no amount of skill or training can change the outcome. Submarines have protocols in place for death at sea. If a crew member passes away on board, whether due to illness, accident, or rare tragedy, the body is respectfully preserved in a sealed body bag, stored in cold storage until the submarine can return to port. Becoming a submariner is no small feat. Candidates undergo intense psychological evaluations, background checks, security clearances, and months of nuclear reactor training and damage control drills. Why? Because they must function under enormous pressure, physically and mentally. Submariners are known to be among the Navy's smartest, most focused, and emotionally balanced sailors. With all that training and discipline, it's no surprise submariners are trusted with the Navy's most secretive and strategic missions. Many Ohio-class patrols are classified, but there are whispers. One mission involved deploying special forces near the coast of North Korea. Also, they've sailed under polar ice caps, hovered near the Persian Gulf, and watched coastlines most of us will never set foot on. As mighty as they are, the Ohio-class subs are aging. Their replacements, the Columbia-class, are currently in development. These next-gen giants will be even quieter, stealthier, and more advanced. Set to begin patrols in the 2030s, the Columbia-class will include improved sonar, electric drive propulsion, and enhanced living conditions for sailors. But make no mistake, Ohio will remain a legend. In 2020, it was announced that Ohio would be decommissioned and enter the Ship Submarine Recycling Program by 2026. Armed to the teeth, these submarines are not designed to strike first. They are a part of nuclear deterrence strategy, designed to prevent war by promising swift, catastrophic retaliation. In a world of drones and cyber warfare, the Ohio-class submarine remains a chilling reminder that ultimate power still lies beneath the waves. Its silence is its strength, its invisibility is its weapon, and its presence, though unseen, is what keeps global nuclear war at bay. So next time you're feeling a little claustrophobic, just remember, there's someone right now sipping reheated coffee in a metal tube 1,000 feet underwater,
1,000
casually
feet.
babysitting 20 nuclear missiles. No big deal. The Ohio-class submarine isn't just about military might. It's a moving city of steel, science, and survival. And yet, it's only one secret the ocean holds. Curious what else is hidden beneath the surface or behind closed doors on land? Dive deeper into our channel. From the mysteries inside Air Force One to the hidden chambers of the Vatican, we explore the places most people only dream.
Pretty mental, right?
It is.
I think it's a
When did they say it was built?
2000, was it?
I thought they said it started building it in like 81 and then finished in 97 or
I
something
thought it
like
was
that.
an
that what it
older
was?
one, yeah.
Oh, okay.
When I was looking at it, I was thinking there's absolutely no chance I could be a submariner, but I think it's because it's an older one. I think the newer ones are
Yeah,
a bit more
space.
modern, a bit more
Yeah.
space.
I think you just got. I think after a week you'll be used to it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the headspace they give you, the training they give you, the psychological.
Or would it be the
evaluations.
opposite? Or would it be after a
it'd
week
be
you're
the
like
opposite.
wanting to, I've had enough now?
I think
No,
you have to
see,
go
I
through
think
the
I'd be a
train-
really good submariner.
I think the training you'd have to go through originally before you even boarded it. So like we'd have to get your head straight to being out there for 3 months at a time. You know,
I wonder how many female ones there are. I didn't see any on there.
there was a few I saw
No,
on
I saw
there.
a few.
Saw a few
You
on
did?
there. Yeah, I don't know how it works now with military with female and male mix-ups. I'm not sure how it works.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was one of them for me. It was my headspace was just being away at such a young age. How would I cope with that? You know, especially when there was all things going on in the world. You know, like a bit like today. You don't want none of your kids in the military right now.
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't choose to put them in the military right now.
No.
You know,
But
but
someone's
there are-
got to do it.
Yeah, they are these people that do it, and these
Yeah.
people that are very brave in doing so. And it's they're going out there, but 16 is a very young age to be thinking about being a submariner.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
In my
probably.
opinion, anyway. But enjoyed that though. Enjoyed it. Good looking.
Yeah.
I was wondering how deep they go. He didn't really say at the start, but then he said at the end 1,000 feet.
1,000 feet, yeah.
That's a long way down.
That is quite
isn't
deep.
it? Especially with all them weapons and shit surrounding you.
I know.
Tough one.
Yep.
Enjoyed it. Hope you guys did as well. Don't forget like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Cheers.